Hello, folks. How y'all doing today? Now, folks, it's funny, but under the guise of quote-unquote fighting Nazis, America is falling squarely, sliding directly into third world status, banana republic status. Oh, how, you may say? Oh, well, I'm right here to explain to you. You see, banana republics operate like this. There's the El Presidente for life, you know. There's the bureaucracy and party that never changes a bit. Sometimes they have two parties just to make it look good in a coalition, you know. But usually they go at it straight. And what happens is, quite simply, any opposition to this party is both cracked down on by the media and the police, and the government encourages various street gangs that are associated with whatever party's in power to go at these people with impunity. Right. So, let's apply this to America. We have the Charlottesville Unite the Right rally. Those people are political dissidents, social economic dissidents from the politically correct, egalitarian, multicultural worldview that both the Country Club Republicans and the Cadillac liberals push. Okay? All right? You know, the limousine rulers of our country have agreed that equality, liberty, la-da-da are the best thing. Unless you're a white man and you disagree with this, then you're a Nazi racist hater and you have to be boot stomped into the ground. Right. Now, so, these men met legally, even with the permission, on the order of a federal judge was needed. Okay? The police allowed the opposition gang, Antifa, to form up in a horseshoe around them, then pushed them into the Antifa gang, then went away and allowed Antifa to do what Antifa does, resulting in a death. Okay? The death is not the fault of the nationalists. It is not the fault of those valiant, brave men there. It is 100% the fault of the communist anarchists who were creating violence in the streets and the police, as well as their political masters. Blang. There it is. Zero responsibility will be put on our shoulders for this. But it should be noted that from an objective view, this is exactly what third world and communist tyrannies do to their opposition enemies. In say, the People's Republic of China, any people's protest movement that's too big to be just ruthlessly come down on by the police, they use the police and street gangs to hammer them from both sides and grind them down while they grind them in the media. The Christians and such are, and there are many, the Uyghurs and the many separatist movements, they do this too. The Chinese are ruthless like this. And they have to suppress peasant rebellions regularly. I mean, there are peasant political movements that hate the Chinese government. I mean, everything is as it seems from the Chinese media side. And it's like that here in America. There are lots, maybe 30% of all whites who think that this system sucks, who think that this system's balls, who want no part in diversity or tolerating any of this, or any of this inclusion, or the rainbow, or the barbecued of letters, or any of that. They want to have boys and girls live, birds, bees, families, and just be away from all this Babylonian sodomite insanity. But because of that, we're considered the opposition, because we oppose. It's that what we want to be away from is exactly what this system demands, that you accept, embrace, and love, as though it has anything to love. It's death, it's vile, it's disgusting. Now, do you see? And because of that, they're labeled opposition. Then it's open season, because you see in these third world type countries, there's a black-white dichotomy where if you're not 100% on the side of the progressives, the good, the just, you can have your head beat in like a baby seal. And if the baby seals do organize and fight back, why, then they're Nazi terrorists. Because only Nazi terrorists fight back against the righteous club of the seal killer. Yeah. See how that works? See how that works? Now that sounds exactly like what we're seeing play out in front of us in Charlottesville and across the nation. Now, you see, these opposition mobs were encouraged by the police and the media, allowing them to beat people in the streets in Charlottesville, lawful protesters. Men who only wished to express their ideas peacefully were attacked because, oh, that's right, they're the heretics. We're the new Christians of this age. Right. And these Antifadas are the people yelling, feed them to the lions! Feed them to the lions! But if that's the dichotomy, it means that we're the one with the virile idea that we'll eventually create a new world order. And they're the defenders of a dying death cult. You see how this works? And this angers them to no end to be told this. This angers them. And so they think that they have open season on us. But because the real right-wing, movements in America, the far right, are working class movements. These Antifa are not going to go down to the poorer districts and start a fight with 5 or 6 poor skinheads. No way. So they're up there burning statues. They're up there taking over cities. They're out there, you see. And what that's designed to do is for the government to show that anyone right of center, anyone just slightly right of, say, Paul Ryan, the House pet of the Marxist Party in Congress, because the GOP are professional losers. Their job is to lose to the Marxist worldview that rules this egalitarian, this diversity, this inclusivity. Yeah, they've already lost. Martin Luther King is their god. Right, well, that and money. Money and Martin Luther King is all they're about. And my taxes and my Constitution. Right? But if you want anything other than that, the GOP is perfectly willing, and they've demonstrated this by their servile obedience to this worldview in the media the last few days, to allow these Antifa to come and beat your head in like baby seals. And if you fight back, well, then you're a Nazi. Well, that's funny, because these Antifa communists, if we're going to be objective, they use the same basic tactics as, that's right, ISIS. Yeah, that's right. Okay? And moreover, they are actually, and I'm going to make this clear to you, Antifa are linear descendants of real communists. The people who stacked up bodies in the Ukraine and in Belarusia and Russia itself, Poland, Lithuania. I think they even shot a few people in Finland too. Yeah. Okay, do you understand? These people shoot people. They're the linear descendants of these folks. They're actually descendants of the people who took over Bela Kun. Bela Kun is one of their heroes if you get to their German literature. They try to hide that in America. They try to keep that sort of murky, but that's the truth. Those revolutionary movements in Germany that killed quite a few people for the short amount of time they were in power in 1917, 1918, those are heroes to them. The Paris Commune that stacked up people 8 miles high. Again, heroes. The Bolsheviks, heroes. Maoist, heroes. Pol Pot is a hero to them. Pol Pot. So, okay, folks, and this, the governmental power, the real power, not the silly-ass GOP or the Democrats, the money power, the corporate power that rules behind them and uses them as chess pieces on a board, is perfectly willing to unleash the likes of the Khmer Rouge on everyone who won't fall on their face for their diversity, inclusive, tolerance, love Martin Luther King, put Martin Luther King penis in your mouth program. Now, unless you want to be forced into that program, your only option is to side with the people who have a virile, life-affirming worldview that will eventually break free of this death cult. Okay? The death cult called modern, Western society. It isn't even Western, and it isn't a society. It's just a death cult. It will break down. And then we, from the rubble, will rebuild.